You see, long ago there really was this kind of cosmic war. I mean long ago, maybe 300 million years ago or so. Maybe even a billion years, I couldn't say, but it's quite a way back there in the past, though some think that it happened not too long ago, but it's just a relative term of time, see, and there's replicating moments too. I'll explain a little bit to you. You see, the moon, that is the former Death Star. That's where it found its final resting place after finally being decommissioned and put out of its place. And see, humanity was put in its place in a very reduced state of being. We came back to our mother heart, our mother earth. We had been living away from her for a while. We got too big for our britches, and created a whole lot of cosmic disturbance in the 3D and beyond her, don't you see? But it was galactic and then some. That Star Wars stuff ain't too far off, man. That's kind of our history, those movies I'm talking about, I mean, of course, it's Hollywoodized, but then so is our lives. The nice thing about it being there is a happy ending, a happy conclusion, but I gotta tell you, these are pretty dramatic times, and there's a lot going on in the background that you can feel. Something's coming, and it's the real deal. But there's something else really trying to, unreel that plan and get on with another one, man, you see. And there are those from humanity that have established bases on the moon, secretly, of course, part of what they call the secret space program, the deep space, or the deep, what do they call it? Deep government? I don't know, shit. Some kind of crap like that. But anyhow, they've got into the old Death Star from the backside there, and they think they've just about got her reactivated. And guess where they want to test it out first, Well, babies, we've had enough of that. Because, see, when that Death Star first parked there, I mean, it's funny we find so much romance in the moon. Isn't that awesome? That's because it's reflected sunlight, and it comes to us just right. And you can be romantic, far more romantic in that moonlight than any other time, because you're more connected with the divine. There's more of a simple truth coming through. There's light in everything, even in the night. See, that's the message. And the Death Star brings it to you. The former Death Star brings it to you. See, they kept one face to you so you wouldn't know it was the Death Star. Of course, part of that's a screen too, But the pockmarks and craters and stuff are kind of real in a way. They reflect the damage to the surface of that thing from the warfare back in its day. And it was parked here as part of our punishment, really. Yeah, kind of, more or less. I wouldn't really call it punishment, but as the recompense. Now we got to take all of that cosmic warfare into our heart and soul presence as a dumbed down little shit human being and work it out in a much smaller scale, in a much smaller way, until we finally figure our way out of it. That's the way children play. That's the way spirits, souls, and presences work, We get to work on it until we get it and get it right, see? But we got all the patience of infinity. You see, we know no beginning, no end. Every moment then is a beginning, for it's all the same moment. It's all the same time. Each one of us is a rising star in the divine and always will be. Always has been. But see, we agreed to take and go into this shadowy place, where it's a more restricted 3D than we ever thought we'd be. Couldn't run around the galaxy anymore, let alone travel to the stars and shit. We were like worse than that. We were down there, fighting over who gets to pick the bones clean, and clubbing each other and stuff like that. That's how far down we had to go in order to work out this insane dynamic of warfare. The conception that by destroying another, you destroy what they represent. Life never ends. So in that way, of course, then the destruction is an illusion. But, we had to learn our way. So we had to create that in a smaller way. And that's where, all the forces of darkness come into play. Because they know the smaller way really good. But see, in a way, we also baited them into it because we knew it was time for reunity. We knew that was the The grokking heart had to grok once more. So we created rock out of grok, see, so we could bring together heart and soul in the 3D reality, the limited warfare that we've been involved in, despite how tragic it has been. Babies, we've all seen some real horror shows as soul presences here. Especially, World War II, not many of you know much about it now, but let me tell you, it was a horrible thing. I wasn't alive as this person then. You see, I probably was something else. Who knows? But anyway, there's just a lot. I mean, hundreds of millions of people died, Yet since then, in Korea, they dropped more bombs on this little tiny patch of real estate, North Korea, than they did in all of the whole of the European theater there in World War II. That's how much more horrible it got in just a few years, And it seems like we've never quite, as this Hamerica, this Turtle Island, really, because it all works together. Despite what seems to be nationalities, it all works together, There is a cosmic chemistry to it, always, whether it's expressed as light or darkness or anything in between. It's moving things, and it all moves in an orchestrated sort of way, though you wouldn't know it sitting here living in it, would you? That's how dumb we've been till this moment of today. Because finally, after all this, gazillion of years, let's say 1 billion years, I think, I don't know what it was, but a long time, long stretch in time, we finally are working it out. The human heart is finally said, enough. And the only way we could get there was by allowing these dumb SOBs to keep creating warfare until we just got downright sick of it. Sick, sick, sick of it. And couldn't look down our nose at another human being if we tried. Let alone the barrel of a gun or a tank barrel or whatever the hell it is you're dropping on somebody. Geez, you guys think you're immune from it all, flying along in the sky and you drop a bomb here, drop a bomb there, and what the hell, Get on the way, man. Gotta get my pilotage time in so I can get a job with the airlines when I get off of this shit, Oh, darling, there's a hell of a way to go, isn't it? Well, nobody will ever have to make that compromise no more. See, but that's how we had to work it out. Otherwise, we would have blown all of creation all to hell, because if we kept it at the level of Star Wars, those movies portrays it. Boy, those guys knew something. Well, if we'd have kept it at that level, it was just too volatile. We had to limit it and restrict ourselves and take some time and work it out. We knew we did. As soul spirit presences, we knew we did. So we created this kind of like dream world we call 3D to work out hatred, isolation, and to get the person out of personality, but into the heart of the person, which is the personality. See, in this 3D world, it's been opposites we've been dealing with. So what seems to be real ain't, what doesn't seem to be real is, quite often anyway. It's a back-to-front kind of world, very what you call heyoka, yeah, back to front, man, but blatantly so. Not like a little coyote medicine, just pull a joke on you every now and then. Before you get too far in it, they'll pull the rug out from under you, They won't let you go the whole way, because there's just no, they don't want to have to clean up after you, It's too big a mess, wouldn't you say? See, so this is what the human will, not just the human heart, the heart of creation has to say. On this very day, this magnificent Monday, is, yeah, we've had enough, We've gone through it and we've gone through it, in every way possible. I mean, personal warfare. I mean, even between friends, you have to draw lines and shit, let alone family, it gets so out of kilter here. In that personal way, let alone the bigger reality where tribes and nations got to take up arms and weapons against each other, sometimes just for entertainment. I don't know who it's entertaining. It certainly ain't the people doing it now, is it? Shoot, baby, But we had to work it out some way, so this was the way we chose, So you can just, relax in your heart now because you understand it differently than you ever did before. You're starting to remember what the hell's really going on here. You see, and I'm just here in the 3D. I'm kind of like a key, a little seed that sprouts, Well, I awaken the sprouts and then the roots and everything else here, I mean, that's what I am. But I'm just a vehicle of your heart too, see? So whatever comes through me comes through you. We're all together in this, all of us. No matter how fractured it might seem in the 3D, by the way, you're still together in the heart all the time with everything. The wolf is not your enemy, and neither is the cougar, and neither is the badass speed freak down the street that wants to kill you. Nobody is your enemy, you see. The more you realize your place in creation, this peaceful place, this centered place of being is created of the magic heart that I call Mary J. just for fun, because it's a great metaphor. But it is, of course, the mother love, the earth love. The nurturing kind, you see, and now the nurturing is seen, felt. Its presence is real and natural. You see, we haven't been able to feel her that way before. There's always resistance inside, one form or another. Scared to death to live an honest, pleasant, perfect life inside. For fear that others might see you and take you out, huh? Well, guess what? All of this stuff we're talking about. You disempower that as you re-empower your heart in creation. No such thing can even be thought of, let alone conceived of or brought forward in any real way. And there's such a union going on in the heart in this divine day that we're even putting death away. So what do you have to fear if you can't die, dear? I mean, and see, there's a way to get it clear. And it's just kind of coming on. It's like the morning of the dawn, the beginning of the day. But it's in the end of all the warfare in this place, I'd say, because every heart is being touched in this way. Watch these medicine wheels in the sky, these glittering ones that seem colorful. They always have a base tone of gold behind it all, but it's rainbow colors. But they're emitting it in a pattern, in a frequency. Watch this stuff. Watch the atmosphere around you as well as the sky above you. Be conscious of the presence in creation that is bringing forward a dissolving away of the 3D, which has had its day. Time no longer exists in this moment. There's a space we call creation. The beginning, Spring Creek. The place where it all begins, and is beginning. We got her, huh? We got her, done her. When you come back to that moment of the heart, the original waters of love flowing through you into the creation around you. And like a mother does, you just can't help but love, love, love all of these divine presences around you, your children. For it all is your child. And you are a child of the mother too. And this is the mother over you, a child of you. We create together in this way. We're united in a way we haven't been able. The conflict was built into our most basic, essential relationships, interpersonal, so that we work out the conflict that way. As the very root, if you look at all warfare, the very root of it is that same conflict trying to work itself out in some way. Warfare being the cancer that almost kills it time after time. And then all the secrets, but it's still warfare. It's still hatred, you see. Opposite of love. A numbness that goes with it that can commit such atrocities and call it an honorable thing. Well, you can't say it didn't bring forward the best in some people and the worst in others, of course. It's very extreme, about as extreme as it can be here, Question is, what we're going to do with it? We know what we've done with it. What we're going to do with it now, eh? We're going to rise up in this centered up sort of way. We're going to let the rock and roll paradise reveal itself today. Or we're just going to sit on our ass and frown all the time. I mean, which way do you want it, baby? It's coming no matter what. It's just a matter of when. You're going to have it right here, right now, today, this moment. Courtesy of Mary J. Our little mama, wouldn't you say? Who's big mama and everything and everyone. Just like we are too, babies. I mean, this is when the root chakra gets rooted. And you no longer want it savagely. You understand my meaning, baby? You let go of that bitterness and pain that was always in some way subliminally active in all of our relationship, wouldn't you say? And you're kind of undermining all of it, prohibiting the communion of heart and making you more and more desperate and finally depressed and alone and dead and dying. Such a perfect plan of suffering. Well, we, gave ourselves some payback, I guess, for what we'd done before in the oh so long ago. I mean, honest to goodness, guys, it's nasty old shit. And, something similar's gone on since then here in this little 3D illusion. Because there was a time when humanity here in that last billion year or whatever it is, rose up that and started moving like interplanetary, and the threat was to spread the cancer everywhere. But there was a warfare even then, but it brought humanity down and right back to Earth again. After a while, we had to let her heal herself first, because we really, and blew up Molduck or Muldoon, I call it. It's the Irish planet. Poor guys. I mean, they can't even have a planet anymore, just asteroids, But anyway, something like that did happen there. And here we are on the Hazy Radio Network, reminding ourselves, so we can get it clear, dear, reminding ourselves of what's really gone on here. You take it from there, baby, and expand into the rest of it. But you got a whole lot of agony and grieving to let go of. You got to understand, we were just here to play it out, and we did it in a very voluntary, sacrificial sort of way. If there's a message in Jesus, that's what it is today. That every person is rewarded for their sacrifice. But every person is a sacrifice in every way. The moment you step in here, you sold yourself out. You did. And came in here and agreed to live it in a darker and dumber way that we could hardly ever even conceive of. Yet there we were playing it day after day, man. Growing into it and dying out of it. Baby, I guess that was the way. I guess that was better than letting the cosmos, destroy itself just because it couldn't get its shit together, man. So we had to give it a place to play and get a root down. So this would never again, this destructive tendency would never again arise. And the only way to do it was to get a belly full of it in a very personal sort of way as an isolated individual. Then you know how sore it feels to creation when we get into such abomination. And this is why out of nation, a country, an island, a people, a planet, not just continents, not just oceans, and underground and overground and all that shit, but all of this life is united this way in this day. We're starting to see what really be, which, pretty much resonates out any disharmony and brings us back into our central place in the divine symphony. We call it rock opera, wouldn't you say? Day by day. Oh goodness, where are all those guys? I'll wrestle them up out of the green room here pretty quick, man. We don't want to get you too slick now, too fast, too far, but you just keep expanding and growing and we'll never see you. Well, yeah, of course we'll see you everywhere we look. Everywhere we turn. The same way you're seeing me everywhere too. Oh, that's you. That's me too. How about that? That's you, me, and everybody else just, wow. It is kind of multi-dimensional, isn't it? You got some rock go with your roll this morning? Well, here's a little medicine for your heart and soul from AC/DC, don't you know? Way in the way back when that was like, will explain a whole lot of grinning if you just get up and, get your ass to shaking, okay? And this is your day. This is your magnificent Monday. This is the beginning. It's Spring Creek, the headwaters of life, the source of truthful love, flowing your way in the stream of life today. On this international and beautiful and quite auspicious radio network we call the Hazy Radio Network, which is hazyradio.com, because we really got it on, wouldn't you say? See how it is in this reality, baby? You know, see, we are the cosmic presence. We are the cosmic love that creates it all, and through us flows that love into this creation. That's our truth. That's our reality. You know, you're busted, baby. You can't get away with the backwards shit no more. You are the creative flow of life itself. And don't be afraid, man. You know, you don't even have to. Well, you know, that which rhymes with that, and I don't want to say, okay? Love is our Mary J, and Mary J is here to nurture us along our way. The sacred herb, when you say yes, that too. But the vibe that goes with it, see? It spreads throughout the tribe, so not everybody has to indulge in it in the 3D to be high as a kite, don't you see? And the rest of the reality is affected by that increasing level of dimensional experience. Given in one person, it's given in everyone. Sooner or later, in other words, it spreads, man. It's worse than any virus you ever seen, man. It's the loving reality of reality coming into being, and there's no immunization that's going to prevent it, you know. Oh, and guess what? It straightens out all this shit here in the 3D. So whatever it is you're suffering through, you know, autistic kid or whatever, please just let it flow. Don't let that get in your way no more. I mean, you know, it's not going to be this way much longer, if at all, okay? I mean, we're here to switch all that around today, man, you know. And if you're a victim of the warfare over there and over here, see, you got to understand people. Some people are attacked more directly and more openly than others. But there's been an attack on everyone in this 3D. I mean, not just human beings either, man, you know, but see, you got to see the comedy in this reality in order to rise out of it, or through its experience into a larger reality where, shit, the heart of mama's got creation now, babies, and guess what? You ain't gonna have a war? I don't think so, not today. Because come here, kids, I got a little party going on. You know, if you guys haven't been over to my page for a while, Pope Mary Jane, go take a look at the headliner or the cover photo over there. Pope Mary Jane. You can look it up on the Facebook there, you know. CIA gives me more hits than anybody, okay? I mean, at least I'm popular somewhere, okay? Well, maybe the Chinese are checking it out too secretly. You know, they always have a hidden IP, you know. Oh, I never look at statistics like that unless I have to, you know, for some cosmic reason. But otherwise, I don't even look at them. I just go with the flow. But I know the medicine there. See, I'm like connected in that way, you know, that internet sort of way. So you know what you're feeling today? That's that connectedness. You know, and like, so we're like the cosmic internet, man. You know, we just got this little internet to remind us of the bigger one, which, well, goes beyond international. It goes multidimensional, you know. It goes to the purity of the communication of the heart, the loving being in all things. And every person in this greater personality deeply appreciated as the person of being in that presence of experience that you and I each are. And the doggies too, and everyone else, the birdies and the bee. Everybody is just so happy to be. Even a chest of drawers is entertained by its presence and its functionality. Though it was formerly a tree, and a tree it'd still rather be, but there you go, and there you be. And that's the experience of it, don't you see? See, life around you, all around you is present, babies, you know. You think you live alone in this 3D? Jeezo weezo, you know. No more. Be consciously present in your heart, and you're in everything, and everything's in you. And guess what? It's all okay, too. The conflict in this reality doesn't exist. Feel that peaceful presence. You know, the rock and roll being floored in your heart and soul, been shaking your booty, don't you know? That's how the medicine flows. It loosens you up, don't you know, and gets you in communion with all those dancing with you, too, whether they be here or there or somewhere else, man. It's like we're all in the nightclub of love. You know, we can't even see each other because we're kind of drunk, okay? Really drunk, I'd say. But at least we can still move with the groove and with the fluidness we wouldn't have any other way. Oh, guess what? We just dispelled that alcohol away. And what do we got? Sweet Mary J. Taking us by the hands. Come on, dance with me, man. I want to see your moves. I want to see your grooves. I want to see your heart awaken, babies. You know, woo-wee. Let that other shit be free. Get out of it, don't you see? And well, bring along that nastiness with you. But let's well, rehabilitate it just a little more, shall we say? Ooh, have a little sip of this sweet Mary J. Oh my goodness gracious. See what we mean by gateway to paradise, baby? Now, doesn't that make your Monday a little bit more magnificent? You know what to do, baby, with all that's behind you, man. And here's like, the James Gang to help you on through. Okay, I mean, it's nothing like having a little theme song, a little rhythm and boogie woogie and rock and roll medicine in your heart and soul here at the Hazy Radio Network, don't you know? Given through the heart of Grandpa Coyote and Okiwan Kenobi. Our dog is a co-pilot kind of guy, man. Woo-wee. Just here to help us all be what? You tell me. Oh, you got the flow of the rock and roll medicine show we call Spring Creek, don't you know? Coming your way in a coyote sort of way. A comic little flow, satiric day after day, but clear as the bell right out of hell, springing itself right back into the blossoming flower of paradise. Ain't that nice? Yes, indeed, and fragrant too, baby. Man, I love the smell of me, and I love the smell of you, and my little dog too. Oh, yes, you gotta get a grin on today, because this is the day we get it underway. Independence Day, man, here on the Hazy Radio Network with Grandpa Coyote and little Okiwan Kenobi, and we remind you of some characters out of Star Wars. Well, there's a reason for that too, man. There's a reason why I call my little Yogi dog Obi-Wan Kenobi such a wonderful, wonderful little being. He's made a lifetime study of the pursuit of the interests of the heart. I mean, he's got dog down. It's a living work of art. And he's got like domestic dog down really, really well, and wow, he's just such a great little co-pilot, man. I just love it too. Dog is my co-pilot. You want a bumper sticker, babies? I'll make one up and mail it out to you. Just $3 today. Hurry up and get them now. Oh, I'm kidding you, of course, but babies, have no remorse. Whatever's been shall never again be. It exists there quite naturally, and there is not where we be any longer. It's part of us, it's part of our cosmic makeup now, but it's also a divine history. As those that, are cosmic by nature, are cosmic by creation, the children of the universe. That's what we are. Each one of us, human being, rock star, man. And I'm just here to remind you of and help you get it back together again and again, Monday through Friday here in that Hazy Radio sort of way. HazyRadio.com. Got it on early in the day when Grandpa and that little Okie come out to play. You got to watch out, man. It could just sweep you away, and it usually does day after day now, don't it, eh? And it seems like we go to another level. You never know what to expect, man. And these songs, this tunage, man, I mean, it just twists and turns, and it's like nothing else you ever heard before. There's a rhyme and a reason to it, a cosmic thread joining it all together. There's a message everywhere, and you're beginning to experience that in that multi-dimensional sort of way. As you get up, move your body to the swing and sway of the tribal tunage of rock and roll, man, and the medicine that brings forward your heart and communes with your soul, don't you know, and gets the rest of your present, grokking into the whole new reality of lives a little bit beyond the 3D. Say, let freedom ring, baby. We don't have to do a cotton picking thing, but grow, man. Don't resist any longer, man. Surrender to your heart indeed. Let the flow of creation be what we are, man. All of us together, man, simply. There's only one, and it's Mother Heart, and it's everyone. It's one love, one heart. We all bear the marks of her, baby, So does Mother Earth if you look real close. Babies, it's so close, I don't want you to give up the ghost, because there's a whole lot of swing and sway in the rock and roll of the medicine of the 3D right now. I mean, it's really crazy with a capital K. That's emphatic when you do it that way. Okay, just like coyote is with a K, man. Oh, watch out, world. Coyotes are subtle, you know. They always, you never really see them that often. They show themselves when they want them to. I'll never forget when old Grandpa Koyote first showed himself to me. I just minded my own business, soaking up the sun and trying to stay out of the way of everyone. And I was out in kind of a wild place, man, you know, where everything grows green and beautiful. Ooh, it was an awesome country, man. But harsh in this reality, you're just hanging out there trying to absorb life, make some sense out of things that were going on. And here comes Grandpa Coyote strutting into the yard like a domestic dog that belonged there forever, man, like he was old Sam, sits there at the front porch step and waits for you all the time, etc. You know what I mean? But there he was, but he was so cosmic, man. He was almost wolf, but no, it was coyote, distinctly coyote, you know, but about twice the size, I'd say, of a normal coyote, you know. Depending on where you are in the world, they're bigger and smaller, I've noticed, as you go around the country. They do vary a bit in size. So let's say this guy was about a 70-pound coyote, something like that. Give you an idea, about the size of a pit bull, you know, only bigger because he's not so muscular, you know. He's lean like a coyote, you know. And he got that old look to him, but that wise grin on his face. And he just turns, you know, he pulls up there in the yard, maybe not 50, 100 feet from me, somewhere in that neighborhood, and turns and looks at me. And just standing still looking at me, man, and I'm going, goodness gracious, Aloysius. And then the communion, the gathering together of the heart, the feeling of the desire to move on from there. You know, the reassurance that it wouldn't be long before we would, because this was kind of a stuck place, but no more. I'd living and growing like crazy there, man. So, you know, it wasn't exactly the way it seemed to be in the 3D. Never is, don't you see? And Grandpa was there to share some of that good coyote medicine with me, remind me of my existence in the presence of the Beyonder 3D, as well as the way to exist within it. To go with that flow. My medicine got a little better after that, don't you know? I could see it a little more. I was rising up out of the swamp I got myself stuck in, man. Which really wasn't a swamp at all. It was like I was mired in love, man. I mean, you know, how do you complain about that? Well, you know, let me just say some of the most loving ways can be difficult too. How about that, eh? Well, here I am, still coming through, baby. Still coming out of all of that cosmic darkness we had to live through in order to remind ourselves of who we are and what we're here to do, you see. So we've chosen, some of us, some really dark ways. I mean, as like more like victims, not like criminals, you know what I mean? But not really. We're never victims. We're always there for the experience of it, to take the brunt of it in some cases, because others, well, might not be as strong as you might be, or whatever, you know. There's always a reason we fulfill in every moment of the 3D, man. This is acting to its most infinite and finest degree, see, because there's only a little bit of our person in this personality. See, we're a projection of spirit, of cosmic, let's say. You know, because that's a little better way. Is it a material existence? Because it is. That's our creative reality. That's the old Star Wars thing, without all the melodrama, you know. Boy, didn't she just love the little girl with the cinnamon bun on her ears, man? Oh, she just took me away. Speaking of Star Wars, I mean, you know, Carrie Fisher, you know. What was her name in that thing? Ala Ula or something like that? No, Ala Ula is one of our great friends here in Crestonia. By the way, who happens to have a beautiful modernated log cabin type facility here out in the Baca Grande Chalet, which is a really nice place to stay. And it's, what do you call it, one of them B&B kind of things, man. But you get the whole house, man. You know, it's like, and it'll sleep up to, I don't know, anyway. It's a really nice facility. And we'll make sure you get some info about it on our website, thecoyoteclub.com, because Ala Ula would really like to see you come and stay there. By the way, our friend, Miss Lisa Ann, there she is. Boy, I'm sorry to be so slow, but I'm in the flow, don't you know? And the river's a little overwhelming, man, when you're in that swift of flow. But she won a free 2-night stay there. That little cabin of love was not so little. It's rather expansive. Really nice, gracious, but not overly done. You know what I mean? Got that homey feel to it. That living tree surrounding you, even though it's a dead log right now laying on its side. You know? Ooh, baby. You know, this is when we learn not to be square. This is when we learn to resonate ourselves out of our square existence. And you know what? Pretty soon you're living in a roundhouse made of logs. You don't know how the hell that happened, man. You know, it just whomps. You know, you just sitting there staring at the wall one day, wondering what you're going to do next, because you're in the middle of things right there. And that old log wall just starts morphing into reality. And suddenly you're living in a round circular place with a dome on it. It's still got log sides. How did they do that? How did they bend themselves around like that? I don't know. There's magic in your heart, don't you know? See, now that's the medicine and the flow. And that's how we change it, don't you know? Yeah, it might be a little metaphor too, but it's an existing reality. As you come out of this 3D and you begin to experience the reality, then you see how the heart flow influences it. And you know now to go steady with that flow instead of just every now and then. You see, there's no longer the push-pull, the pull in two directions, as they say. However it came out to play in you, it's always a little divided. That's been the conflict we could never settle back in the ancient days, way before humanity and this Mother Earth existed in this way. You see, this was our limited existence. This is where we took our conflicts of that reality, which I say in a Hollywoodized sort of way is portrayed in those Star Wars movies. That's why they were so popular, still are. And I think part of it, though, too, is Carrie Fisher, you know, not the other dude, man. He just, well, you know, what was his name? The guy with the flashy sword. Not. Well, anyway, Prince something or another, you know, whatever, you know. He didn't really, I mean, he could have done her a lot better service, let's put it that way. Okay, now I'm just having some fun today. They were great, man. They were naturally cast. They really were. It just all worked out. And Darth Vader's so dark. And then that nasty guy, but who the hell knows what was behind it? Oh my goodness. But see, all of that unreal conflict, you know, snuck its way in, and pretty soon there was interplanetary warfare and shit. And we're like, what was this? So we had to stop it, contain it before we really did get destructive with it. I mean, it's bad enough what we'd done already, you know. So we put a replication of it down here in the 3D, as we say. Down is like meaning you kind of forget to remember. You got that fallen feeling when you come in here as a soul presence, you know. And plunk, there you are, and all of a sudden there's, you know, you're emoting from a birth canal and of the mother, and you're surrounded by all these bright lights and these funny looking things and all these beings and energies hanging around like you got a welcoming committee like you ain't never seen before, you know. But it's like, you know, the human presence is before you. There's only 2 or 3 of them there, maybe 1 in some cases, but they're surrounded by all these other beings, but they don't seem to be aware of the presence like you are, you know. So you just settle into it, you know. The fall stops there, man, and it starts to radiate outward. And this time, instead of shrinking in out of fear, you glow into this light rapidly, dear, and you glow into all those around you, babies. And it will astound you where it goes from there. See, this undoes all that's been done in time and sets you completely free to be who you are naturally, as given by the heart. Spring Creek, baby, the headwaters of life. Your moment of truth, well, maybe it's just another little beat in this rock and roll medicine we call a Coyote Medicine Show. Yes, Spring Creek, don't you know? Home of the original waters. Yeah, getting you in that flow in a rock and roll sort of way, day after day, Monday through Friday, on the Everclear Hazy Radio Network, dear. If you don't think we love you, well, keep retreating and see what happens, okay?